Welcome to Section 4, Video 4, Creating our Pickups. In this video we are going to create our pickup actors and prepare our destructible actors. First we are going to set up our destructible actor by creating a new C++ class within our Gameplay Elements folder. Select New C++ class, and it will be of type Actor, and we will name this Destructible Actor. In our source file, we're going to fix our include file path by adding gameplay elements /. Now in our header, we can actually remove the tick function since we won't be using it, and do it the same thing as well within the source file. Inside of our constructor, we won't be ticking at all, so we can actually remove the b can never tick line of code. Here we are declaring a static mesh component which we have named mesh, and this will be our root component for this actor. Here we are declaring a blueprint native function for when this actor's health reaches 0 and should be destroyed within C++, and we made it blueprint native event so that way we can use it within blueprint as well. Let's create a definition for our on-death implementation, and let's go into our source file. Here we are declaring our libraries to use for this actor, which in this case is the static mesh component, so that way we can use our static mesh component, and engine minimal, which we'll be using later on. Inside of our constructor, we are setting up our root component to be the mesh component named mesh, and then creating that default sub-object all within one line. And then we are setting its collision object type to world dynamic, which is the collision channel that the physics engine within Unreal is able to register this object as. So if we have another object that collides with it and we tell it to ignore world dynamic objects, then it will ignore this actor and just continue on. We can also allow it to overlap and just block it, which is pretty much normal collision. Now let's go to build and rebuild our project after saving all. Now that our hot reload is finished, let's create a blueprint actor based off of the destructible actor, and let's name it Barrel Destruct BP. And let's place it within the blueprints folder, and select our mesh, and let's change its static mesh to a cylinder. We will also change its material to something that's more pleasing to a barrel. I will pick metal steel, but you can pick whatever you want because this is aesthetic, so it's whatever you want. Save and compile, and let's add another component which will be a particle system, but we will be doing this within the event graph by spawning the particle. So right click and select event on death, and we will spawn a particle system at this location. The node is named spawn emitter at location, which needs a particle system, which will be the P explosion particle. And for our location, we will use get actor location. Now, right click on event on death and select add call to parent function. This will call the C++ version, which will handle all of the destruction of this actual actor. Save, compile, and now we can close this. Let's reorganize our folder structure in the blueprints folder by right click and select new folder, and let's name it gameplay elements. Let's click and drag our barrel destruct BP into gameplay elements and select move here. Inside of our gameplay elements, let's create a new blueprint class by right clicking and selecting blueprint class. Select all classes, and we can actually search for our pickup class without having to go into our C++ classes and right click and make a blueprint class there. So search for pickup, our pickup actor, and let's name it health pickup BP. Let's open it, and our collection sphere, we will set its sphere radius to 75. Save and compile, and let's add a component which will be our particle system, and the template will be P health. Save and compile, and in our constructor script we will be setting the color of the particle system by click and drag it into the construction script graph, and drag out of this and enter in set color parameter. The parameter name will be color, and right click off of param and select promote to variable. Let's name this particle color. Compile, and let's set the default color to green. This is honestly up to you on what color you would want. And then connect our construction script execution pin to our set color parameter, compile, and in our viewport it is green. And now, if we select this little box next to the particle color, it will become an eyeball, meaning it's public, and instance editable, meaning we can edit it if we drag it into the level and such. For our class defaults, we can actually edit the color as well, and as you can see, it updates in real time. In our event graph, right-click and select onCollected, event onCollected, and then right-click on that and select add call to parent function, and connect our collector to the collector reference, and out of the execution pin, enter in sequence. The way the sequence node works is it will fire off this line of code to wherever it's going on how many nodes are connected to it, and when it reaches the end of the nodes that it can't keep going any further, or it hits a delay node or other kinds of nodes or whatever, then it will go to the next execution pin, and you can add more and more, and it will just go down the line in order. You can remove them by right-click and select remove execution pin. Connect the then one to the parent on collection, so this will handle destroying the actor after we've done what we needed to do. In this case, we will drag out of collector and select set current health. Let's connect the then 0 node to our set current health, and out of the collector, let's get the max health. And let's connect the return value to new health. Compile, save, and now we can actually duplicate this by right-clicking on Health Pickup BP and select Duplicate. We will name this Ammo Pickup BP. Let's open that up, and as you can see, it has the code that we already wrote, but let's change the current health and get max health to setting the ammo. So drag out of collector and set current ammo, and let's get the max ammo. Let's also change our particle system to the P assault rifle ammo particle system. And let's also change the color, let's say to blue or red, whichever you prefer really. Compile and save, and now we can actually close these tabs, and in our level we can drag them into the level. And let's test it by hitting play, and let's shoot to get rid of the ammo in our top right, and let's walk over it, and it destroys our pickup, and our ammo is back to 10. And if you also remember, we use the minus key to subtract health, so when we go to health, it refills our health and destroys the actor. In the next video, we will create our destructible items.